Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Byron X, the original orator of real, the daughter of truth, magnificent boss player, but ain't no games being played. Thanking God for what I got, but asking God what he need in return today. I'll be putting some paint where lamb cake. I got some salt for the patches in the grass. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get it. All right, y'all. So today I want to talk about the power of failure. I want to talk about the power of failure and how failure is necessary in order for us to succeed in the game of life. See, now a lot of times it be motherfuckers that's just on the bench drinking up all the Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? Today, man, I want to just talk about some real boss players that laid it down in the game. Yeah, man, I failed at so many things in my life. I failed at going to play D1 football. I failed going to college. So many relationships with high school friends and family. So many motherfucking bridges have been burnt. But I look at it like nothing was lost because a lesson was learned. Me, Byron X, the original orator real, I am the turtle that beat the rabbit in the race. You know what I'm saying? Because I run my own pace. I just run it consistently. I run my own pace, but I run it consistently. It don't matter if this man got more money than me, if this man got more followers than me, this man got more subscribers than me. To me, I'm still that nigga. I'm on a walking path. Eventually, that bitch will be a commercial highway one day. You know what I'm saying? To where I'll be able to pass the game down to those who find inspiration in my movement, in my journey. Failure is the mother of success. So in today's episode, I want to talk about how boss players have failed at the game and made this shit work, man. Failure is not as venomous as it comes off. It's very powerful if you have the right perspective on things, because my life has changed for the better, you know, in all aspects since I stopped looking at certain things with the wrong perspective. A lot of people are for you and a lot of people are against you. You either with me or you against me. And you're either here to help me or you're here to hurt me, you know. And I had to learn that simple philosophy of life in order for me to truly advance to where I am. And I still have so far to go. Today's episode is about the power of failure, and I hope y'all enjoy. One love. All right, y'all. That's Auburn Avenue, the same block that Martin Luther King grew up on when he was a kid. You got to do your research, man. This is a historic neighborhood. You know what I mean? This where bro had grew up, man. I just had to get that. Oh, shit. I find myself scrolling down Martin Luther King's old neighborhood. And for a small-time player like myself, seeing the game that MLK laid down inspired me to become a better player, to want to be a championship mentality type of player, to be driven for gold only. This made me want to study the man behind the I Have a Dream speech. This made me realize one thing, that we get one go around at this thing called life. How will you impact this world is the question we need to ask ourselves. How will we move human progression forward? Or are we only trying to save up for the latest Balenciaga drop? Are we only trying to save up just so we can be accepted by others that wouldn't even show up to our funerals or check on our loved ones a year after we've passed? What really matters in life? In today's episode, we will be discussing why failure is the mother of success. It's Byron X, the original orator of real, the daughter of truth, and let's get it. In 1958, Dr. Martin Luther King published his first book, Stride Towards Freedom. An account of the boy Buzzcott appeared, and he increased his commitments by embarking on scheduled public appearances that also ended tragically. While signing copies at a department store in Harlem, he was stabbed by a black woman who plunged a letter opener in his chest. King was rushed to a hospital, and after a 3-hour operation, the weapon was removed. The tip from the knife had come close to rest against a main artery close to his heart. Had he so much sneezed after the attack, he would have died. His attacker was considered criminally insane and committed to a mental clinic. King held no animosity towards her, concerned only that she got the best treatment that she needed. The attack, however, brought home to him the high levels of hatred and violence in America, be it in the white South or in his own community.
As soon as God starts noticing you, so does the devil. So that means you're gonna shine and you're gonna fall too. That's what this life's all about. Rising and falling, rising and falling. But what happens when you fall from a rise? And that shows who you are. And we're all here for a reason. We don't know the reason, but we're here for that reason. Maybe we're supposed to decipher that, but we're all here for a reason. This is not by accident.
This event would drive the sharpest, hardest gangster into retirement to run to the nearest suburb neighborhood and shack up with his wife and kids until his dying days arrive. But no, he stayed through it all to fight for his people as though it was ordained by God himself.
Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Wow, imagine that. The leadership that Martin Luther King was kicking back in the days is impeccable. A pivotal leader in the civil rights movement faced significant resistance and numerous setbacks. His efforts were often met with hostility, where he was jailed multiple times. You know what I'm saying? He was disrespected. You feel me? And at one point, they tried to silence him outright by murdering him. But that only made him bigger. It made him stronger. It made his movement universal. All he used was his mouthpiece. Failure is the mother of success. They think that they really took him out the game, but they really made him bigger. Despite the challenges, King remained steadfast in his commitment to justice and equality. His perseverance led to monumental changes in civil rights laws and inspired millions of people. King's legacy reminds us that even in the face of adversity, persistence and courage can change the world. We all know about this guy. We're probably using his product right now. Steve Jobs, a young Steve Jobs in a garage, you know what I'm saying, tinkering with the first Apple computer in the late 70s. You know, he co-founded Apple in a garage, you know what I mean? And just imagine that. It was a whole different world back then. And here it is. He was obsessed with this idea, this particular itch within his brain or within his soul that he had to scratch. And it was the beginning of something revolutionary. But by 1985, Jobs was ousted out of his own company. Devastated but undeterred, he founded the next and acquired Pixar, which would go on to revolutionize animated films. In 1997, Jobs returned to Apple, leading it to become one of the most valuable companies in the world.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years. But what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen. Now, how are we going to communicate this? We don't want to carry around a mouse, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. And put them away and you lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus. So let's not use a stylus. We're going to use the best pointing device in the world. We're going to use a pointing device that we're all born with. We're born with 10 of them. We're going to use our fingers. We're going to touch this with our fingers. And we have invented a new technology called multi-touch, which is phenomenal. It works like magic. You don't need a stylus. It's far more accurate than any touch display that's ever been shipped. It ignores unintended touches. It's super smart. You can do multi-finger gestures on it. And boy, have we patented it. And each of these revolutionary user interfaces has made possible a revolutionary product. The Mac, the iPod, and now the iPhone.
His story teaches us that failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. All right, man, let's talk about music royalty. Tupac Shakur. Starting off as a bag boy for Shock G, carrying another man's bag. Think about that. Tupac. All these setbacks. His mom was addicted to crack cocaine. You know, he moved from city to city, from New York to Baltimore, from Baltimore to California. You know what I'm saying? Oaktown to be exact. Saying Tupac Shakur is now one of the most influential rappers of all time. And he faced numerous and personal setbacks and challenges. Right? Like I say, from poverty and crime to legal troubles, his journey was like embedded with tedious obstacles. But despite the struggles, Machiavelli, Tupac poured his expressions into music, creating powerful and enduring work that resonated with millions. His ability to turn adversity into art made him a cultural icon, and his legacy continues to inspire new generations. Tupac's life teaches us that even in the face of failure and hardship, we can find strength and purpose. Pac was a master at turning pain into music and being able to translate it to other people, even if he didn't go through it himself. He was a great actor. He played in numerous movies, so he knew how to go into different emotions and bring it out. But with all this success and fame, he still had failures. He still had setbacks. And I think his ability to turn adversity into art made him who he is to this day.
You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
All right, so now let's talk about Deion Sanders, football and baseball royalty. Deion Sanders, known as Prime Time, out of my city, Fort Myers, Florida, faced so many challenges, man. So many challenges. I've read his book. And he's faced so many mazes that would throw anybody off, but he still was able to stay down. Numerous challenges early in his career, despite his incredible talent, running like a 4.2 back in the days. You know, stupid fast, stupid athletic. He was often criticized for his flashy persona and his dual sport ambitions. You know what I'm saying? Sanders not only excelled in NFL, but he also made a heavy mark in Major League Baseball. Sanders proved his doubters wrong by becoming one of the few athletes to succeed at the highest levels in 2 major sports. His resilience and confidence turned his perceived failures into a Hall of Famer, Golden Jacket. You know what I'm saying? Best of the best. The best corner to ever do it. Think about that. Out of my little city of Fort Myers. You know, I know what high school he went to. He went to North Fort Myers High School. Deion Sanders is the epitome of a boss player who turned shit into sugar. You dig? And last but not least, I gotta do the biggest influencer on planet Earth right now, man. The one and only Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy. Mr. Beast, known for his larger-than-life YouTube videos, started with humble beginnings. His early content often struggled to gain traction, but he remained persistent, constantly refining his content and learning from his failures. Today, Mr. Beast has millions of subscribers and is known for his philanthropy and viral challenges around the world. His story shows that with persistence and innovation, failure can be a catalyst for extraordinary success. These stories show that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. It teaches us resilience, determination, and the value of hard work. So next time you face failure, remember these stories. Remember uncommon game, embrace failure, learn from it, and let it propel you to greatness. One love.